and you gotta. That's part of growing up, I guess, evolving, maturing, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's a part of it because not everything is for you, and we force ourselves into situations and spaces where we're like, we're supposed to be here. Nah, not really. Like, nah, not really. It doesn't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right, then I'm just like, nah. So taking off to me is just understanding that this is still my life and I have to be in control of it, even if some people might not think so.
Tired of being complacent, I done almost had it up to here with my patience.
Hey there, I'm Victoria Makanjuola, and you're listening to Feel Your Feelings, the podcast where high achievers get real about mental wellness. You feel me?
Attention all passengers, now clearing the runway for growth. It's takeoff season.
Gas to the pedal, moving on. 'Cause I've been on a new vibe, living on an incline.
Greetings, listeners. How are you feeling today? I am doing well, actually. I got up early, I washed my hair, I blow dried my hair, and I flat ironed it. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, which I highly recommend, my hair is big, fluffy, and in its natural form. And this is actually after flat ironing it. Believe it or not, my hair has been like this since I was a kid. Like during the summertime, it was a struggle wearing my hair outside because of the humidity in Texas, and my hair would get big and bushy like this. So rarely will you see me wear out my own real hair. You'll see me in braids, maybe a cute wig or something, But I figure today, let the people see me in my natural state. Okay, I'm still learning how to do my hair and how to figure it out, and I'm watching tutorials, and I'm really just trying to be patient with myself and still figure things out with my hair. I love DIY. I did learn how to do my own knotless braids before, so yeah, are you guys learning something new? Is there anything that you got going on right now? So, speaking of that, I highly recommend that you stick around to the end of this episode. I'm going to be sharing some voice messages from some guests that submitted to a question that I had, and I'm going to be accepting submissions on a rolling basis. So, you still have time to submit. You can check out the link in my bio or my link tree, and you can send me a 60 to 90-second voice message answering the question, what is something that you've released recently that has helped you to take off, and like share some things that are going well for you in your life right now, because I would really love to hear that. So today's episode is with Brandon Janeau. Brandon has been so supportive of my podcast ever since I joined Instagram and we started following each other, and he's liked my posts. He's hyped me up. When I had like less than 100 followers, I'm at like 500 something now. He's still been like a really big supporter and fan. So I figure it's about time to have him on the Host2Host series. And we filmed this episode in January of 2026. So you're going to hear a lot of like New Year's resolutions and everything. And so I'm sorry that I'm just now dropping it, but I'm really excited for you guys to hear what he has to say. He has over 1,000 episodes on his channel. So shout out to you, Brandon. Check out his show. He talks about sports, music, wrestling. And I love that he's just a chill guy. You'll see him wearing his white t-shirt in his room and in his house. And he's just himself through and through. And he doesn't change that for anyone. So really the point of this series is to get to know the hosts behind their show, how they like to set up, how they like to present themselves, how they like to share their content, like what are some of their tips, tricks, and strategies for other aspiring podcasters or content creators, and really just get a look inside their brain and inside their creative process and see if that is something that's helpful to other people. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this episode, take something away from this episode. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Today, I'm so happy to be joined by my fellow podcaster, Brandon Janeau. He's the host of the Brandon Janeau Show. He is really close to hitting his 1,000th episode. I'm so glad that you're here. How are you feeling right now in this moment, Brandon?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you? I'm good.
I'm doing great. I've been really looking forward to getting back into record mode, and it's a new year. Happy New Year to you.
Same.
And I'm really excited to be starting this new year and this new season. First of all, congratulations on season
Thank you.
12 of your show, and you're also celebrating your 7th year of podcasting. That's really
Yeah.
incredible. What are you looking forward to this year? Let's start there. What are you looking forward to this year? Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like a New Year's resolution. Like, what is your New Year's resolution? Um, for me, it's just I think just getting better at podcasting. I think like you could get so used to just doing it that you get complacent, and
Yeah.
so I think sometimes you forget that this is still a podcast, man. Just have fun. And I
Yeah.
think that sometimes, because again, especially when you posting stuff on social media, so many people could get you jaded by your own opinion. It's like it's an opinion, man. It's not taking. You're not supposed to take this serious. It's my opinion. It's a podcast, bro. Like, don't take this serious. But yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what happens sometimes. But definitely, that's always what I come into every year with, especially for the last 7 years. It's just been like just podcast, just have fun with it. Sometimes you forget that, especially when you doing it. It's dog days of summer, and you're just continuously doing it. It's like, okay, yeah, this ain't gonna last forever. Like just you get
Yeah.
tired, you get
Yeah.
tired of doing the same old, same old. So yeah,
Absolutely. I've been doing this for since 2021. So yeah, I'm still felt fairly new to the podcasting space, but I've noticed a lot.
yeah.
Have you noticed a lot of changes from podcasting in 2019, like before the pandemic up until now?
Yeah, it's I learned that you got to really care about this. You got to really want to do this because
That part.
some people. I mean, when I was in the 2020s, I was doing shows with everyone. Like, I mean, every night I had a different show going on with everybody. Then by the time the pandemic ended, everybody went back to their regular life. Everybody stopped doing podcasts, and it was just like, oh well. I don't know how I'm gonna now, do this without everybody else, and I figured out a way. So yeah, I mean, it's changed tremendously since the early days, since I started. Definitely changed tremendously since then. But I mean, I'm still here, so I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm glad. I'm glad. So, talk to me more about your theme this season. It's called My Own Lane. Where
yeah.
where did that come from, and how are you still staying in your own lane when there's so many podcasts out there that are also talking about what you talk about, which is sports, pop culture, music, wrestling. How are you staying in your own lane?
First of all, thank you for listening to the show because I was appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah, the theme came literally that day. I literally was on the episode and just recording it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I need a theme for this," and that was kind of the theme. It was just like my own lane. I was just talking about my life at the moment and everything that was going on, and pretty much that was just the theme of it. It was just like, yeah, I need to stay kind of in my own lane. I've been in my own lane. It's kind of like just me, just kind of realizing like I've been in my own lane for a very long time. It's just me just rehashing that and realizing it. Like, man, you're you. There's nobody else like you on this planet, and you got to realize that. And nobody's doing what you're doing. So yeah, it's a lot of people that do what I do, but there's not that many people that spend this much time, this much effort into trying to craft it and continue pushing it, and every day still trying to get better at it. So that's kind of the theme of it, just like my own lane.
Absolutely. You also talked about how you really love what you do. You love podcasting, and it's not something that you do for any external validation. Like, what drives that sense of motivation for you to keep going and not chase like the external stuff, like the views or like the money, or, what keeps you going?
Well, you have to know that first thing you got to know is that it's your creation.
Yeah,
Everything that you say on your podcast is your words.
right.
Nobody's gonna pay me to change my opinion. Nobody's gonna pay me to make me
Right.
feel some type of way about how I feel about what I'm putting out there. And I think sometimes people forget that. It's like once you get money or you get a lot of notoriety from a lot of people and people start to post your stuff, it's like you get jaded. You get jaded very fast. You forget that this is still supposed to be about you and how
Mm-hmm.
you feel about certain things. And so, yeah, you can easily forget that. And then, like I said, I've been doing this for 7 years. I never cared about money. Since I was a child, I've never cared about money. Like it is what it is. If I get it, I get it. Great. That doesn't really do anything. It either changes the people I'm around or the weather I want to be in. That's all money is. It changes the people I'm around or the weather I
Right.
want to be in. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think people forget that sometimes. It's like money doesn't make you better. It just shows you who you are. And
For sure.
so,
For sure.
it's so we forget that sometimes. And I think that like, especially in this podcast world, because so many people now get offers and sponsorships. And I've been early in my podcast time. Yeah, I was getting a lot of that, but as I got older, I'm like, that don't really make me better. Because you forget sometimes that like that's not what I got in this for. I didn't get in this for the money and the fame. I got in this because I really care about this. And yeah, so it goes into the love of it because you can forget that sometimes. You really truly can forget that you really do love this because
Yeah.
of the sponsorships and the money and then the people coming in and out of the out of the situations. And so sometimes you got to remind yourself like this is all you have.
Yeah.
And that's all. And sometimes that might be the best thing for you. Is just this might be all I have, and that's cool with me.
That's fascinating. I really like to get to know why people do what they do, what drives them, what's behind it. Like, do you get tired? Because, sometimes doing what you love, you can still get a little bit tired, especially if you do stuff obviously outside of your podcast or your creative hobby or, you know, outlet. How do you still keep coming back to what you do and make it like a focus? Like, I stepped away from podcasting for grad school, and that was for like
Congratulations, by the way.
2 years. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I came when I came back home, and I was still looking for work. Of course, I was just kind of at home hanging out, and I was like, I miss my podcast. Like, I want to get back on here. I want to talk to people. I want to like kind of redo it. I want to talk to artists. I want to talk to athletes. I want to talk to authors. So I kind of remodeled it, and now I'm back. Here we are. So now that I have you in front of me, I want to ask you, I guess, more about, since you also talk about pop culture and sports. What is your approach to getting guests and outreach, or even the topics? Like, how do you decide on what topics that you want to have on your show?
Yeah, when I first started, I never liked writing stuff down. I never liked writing stuff down. I was just like, okay, it just comes off the top of the dome.
I'm a
Then I
writer.
got,
I got papers and
yeah,
ready.
yeah. And then and then I was like, ooh, I need to write this stuff down, man, because I'm gonna forget what I want to talk about. And I think it happened one time I was talking and I forgot what the hell I was trying to even say, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot what I was saying. I just forgot. I forgot the whole topic. I was like, oh, this is not good. But when I was early in my career, yeah, I had a lot of guests. I had a lot of people coming on my podcast a lot, and it was fun. It was enjoyable. But I think as I've gotten into more so into who I am, I'm very, antisocial. Like I'm very
Mm.
antisocial, very to myself. So it fits me kind of that my podcast is very centered around me in a sense. But I do still reach out if people want to come on here and do it. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but it's just I'm so used to my time and how I need to get on my podcast. I'm very time constricted to me because I know what I want to do and I know what I want to say. And sometimes that's kind of how my podcast gets created sometimes. Like I got a schedule. Didn't even think I would have a schedule, but I got a schedule, which like,
Yes.
and it just fits me. And it
Yeah.
sometimes it might not fit everybody else. So yeah, it just fits me. So that's also what it is. It's just the scheduling of everything, the writing it down, the understanding that this is still based on what I want to talk about, and that sometimes is what sometimes hurts a lot of podcasters is that they forget what they truly want to talk about, which brings into like the pop culture and all the other stuff. Which, I guess pop culture. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. And that's your lane. That's your lane. You working with that lane.
Yeah,
So just
yeah.
like you said, you have to find your lane and stick with that. So I also want to thank you for being a supporter of my show.
Always,
Every time I
always.
post something, you're always engaging with my content, and I see that, and I'm really making more of an intention to make room for mutual support this season. So I really want to thank you for that. I'm a small podcaster as well. like 400 followers on Instagram. I'm still growing, you
Doing
know.
better than me. You're doing
So
better than me.
I'm still growing. I'm still trying to to be in my lane. So thank you for your support. I see it. So this season, this upcoming season, because last one was called Messy. This one is called Takeoff. So how are you taking off this season?
uh,
Why you laughing,
uh,
Brandon? Why you laughing?
cause I gotta think about that. Hold on. That's a
Take your
question.
time.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Ah, take off. Oh man. I think I think understanding that everything's not for me. That is also part
Hmm.
of what being in my own lane. Not everything's for me. Like even if it looks like it could be, it might not be for me. And you gotta that's part of growing up, I guess, evolving, maturing, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's a part of it because not everything is for you. And we force ourselves into situations and spaces where we're like, we're supposed to be here. Nah, not really. Like, nah, not really. It doesn't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right, then I'm just like, nah. So taking off to me is just understanding that this is still my life and I have to be in control of it, even if some people might not think so.
Yeah. Interesting. Can you kind of expand on that just a little bit because I'm going back to maybe like my early podcasting self or maybe your earliest podcasting self that
Yeah,
was starting this out and you're trying to figure out
yeah,
what you want to talk about, what topics you want to get into and if you have like the qualifications to even talk about that, like how do you know if you are supposed to be there or if that's
yeah,
something that you're just kind of thinking is your space or your lane and it's not. You can't have a successful launch if the pilot is burnt out. That's why I'm raising awareness for NAMI this season to make sure our mental wellness is cleared for takeoff. If you want to partner with me or support this podcast, please send me an email at the FYFZPOD at outlook.com. Join the crew.
yeah. When I started doing podcasts, like the stuff that actually got people to notice me in the podcast world was me just talking about like at the time I was going through like depression and anxiety a lot. I had a lot of bad depression and a lot of bad anxiety. So that's what really actually got a lot of people to notice me because I was just very honest about it. And I guess at that time nobody was really doing that at that time. Now you hear it every podcast, somebody's got that type of podcast energy towards it. But yeah, I think I was just very just open and honest about my anxiety and my depression and how I was feeling every day. And and I would say that's some of my I hate those episodes. I do not like those episodes. I don't listen to them. I don't go back and listen to them because I was young in a podcast. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just talking, and so I didn't know what I was doing. But that worked for a lot of people. A lot of people liked those
Yeah,
episodes.
that raw honesty.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and which opened the door up for me to then go work with other people, which
Mm-hmm.
was rare. So I was like, that's weird. I didn't understand like how all of that triggered itself. It was just like I just was real and I was just honest and I was just being like, yeah, I don't like today. This was not a good day for me. And so it was just and so it transformed into so much more. And I
Yeah.
think because and I still have those moments like that first episode. Those still those moments. I have those moments where I have real life issues going on. I still have to, maybe talk about it in that sense where a lot of people probably won't like to open up as much anymore about what's really going on with them personally. And I think that goes
Mm-hmm.
into the earlier years of the podcast, which I was just very just I was just saying stuff. I don't think I was really paying attention to what I was trying to say. It was just like just there, and it
Yeah.
was just an ever and flow of just me just being honest.
Definitely. I can relate to that for sure when I was coming in talking about mental health and reason being it was around the pandemic as well. It was around the Black Lives
Hmm.
Matter movement. It was just me being at home after I was in grad school, but I came back home cuz they kicked us off campus. And I was bored really, so I was like, okay, I want to talk about mental health. I want to talk about how I'm feeling. I didn't even think to question, do I am I qualified? I was just like, I have feelings, so I might as well talk about it. So
Oh, any of us qualified, really?
I was you took the thought out of my mouth because I'm thinking like sometimes you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself like I am qualified. I have power. I am empowered and I am qualified to talk about whatever I'm talking about because I'm powerful. Like Kamala Harris said on her ending tour speech at Howard University, she was telling like the young people like you have power. Like
Yeah.
you can use it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't say certain things or do certain things. Like you have power. So, shoot, I took that stuff and I ran with it. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not a therapist, but I can still talk to people about how they're feeling, especially the high achievers. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about some sports and pop culture topics right now. Which what are you into at the moment in sports, music, pop culture?
Music sucks. It's terrible. Music sucks right now.
What are you
It's
listening
it's
to,
just not good.
man?
I don't have anybody to listen to. That's the crazy part. Like it's just like it's depressing, damn near. It's very depressing. I
See,
don't
I
have
gotta put you
no new
on.
music.
I gotta
I
put you
got
on.
no new music. Yeah, you gotta send me something because I got nothing. I got
Okay, what about
nothing.
sports? What about sports?
I got I gotta do a show to what today is Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, it's Thursday.
Okay, I gotta do a show tomorrow for football for the NFL because the NFL is about to do the playoffs.
Okay.
So I got that. So yeah, I mean that's my sports right now. Football, just all centered around football right now. So
You
yeah.
have hope for the Cowboys?
Please tell me you're not a Cowboys fan.
I mean, I'm in Dallas, so I mean, I'm
Just because
adjacent.
you in a city, just
I'm
because you in
adjacent
a
to
city,
it.
don't mean you have to be a fan of it. That's
I
just
have to rep.
that's
Yeah.
that's such a that is such a
Yeah.
cop out. Oh my God, that is such a cop.
Okay.
I mean, I live
To
here. I
be
mean, I might as
real,
well.
to be
Like,
real, I'm really a Denver Broncos fan because I grew up in Colorado. We lived there for like
okay.
7 years, so I'm really like a Broncos fan.
See,
So
respect. See, that's
respect.
understandable. I've been living in Houston for 20 something years. I have not once said I am a Texans fan. Never. I am a Saints fan. That's what I do. That's what I podcast on. That's what I do. I am a Saints fan. I can't be a
Respect.
Cowboys fan. Even if I lived in Dallas,
I'm not a
I'll
hater.
be.
I'm not a hater.
See, you gotta just you got. But you being like I'm a Cowboys fan. Why? Because I live here. That don't
So what should I
no. That's not
say?
it.
So what should I say?
Just be like when people say, "Oh, you're from Dallas. Oh, you must be a Cowboys fan." No, I'm a Broncos fan. Okay,
Literally
that makes
all the
sense.
time, people always ask me that. Like if I'm wearing a Cowboys jersey out somewhere public,
See, you're doing too much. See, you're doing too
they
much.
just
See, you're doing too much. See, you're doing too much.
anyway.
You're doing too much. You're doing too much. See, you adding on to the pressure. See that? See,
Anyway,
yes,
see, okay,
you adding on to it.
one of the things is like I want to talk to more athletes, possibly Cowboys, possibly Mavericks, Dallas Mavericks, and like have them on the show. Not because I'm a fan, but genuinely because I want to get to know them and who they are and what they're thinking and everything. So I don't want to like lead with my fandom, if that makes sense. Do you have any favorite episodes? And yeah, have you had any like favorite people that have come on your show, or do you have any dream guests that you want to have come on?
Oh yeah, I always got dream guests. That's the part of a podcast. If you have no dream guest, then there's no reason to do a podcast, right? I
Absolutely.
mean, yeah. So I got a bunch of dream guests. Do I have a favorite episode? Ooh. Back in the day, I used to do a top 10 list. I still do the top 10 list, but I just do it on my own. But I used to do a top 10 list for everybody in the room. It was like every podcast that I knew at the time. We used to do a top 10 list, and we used to do like the first episode we ever did together. Like a bunch of us did together was a top 10 hip hop's list, like our top 10 rappers.
Okay.
And I would just throw out a name, they'll vote on it, and we'll just put it on the list. That was fun. That was the first one we ever did, and I think that was such a different energy that night because it was just like, and it was like, we gotta do it again. We gotta do it. I was like, oh Lord, now I gotta keep this going, and it was fun, and we had another one. one of my favorite episodes we ever did was we did an actress list, and
Actresses.
it was actresses,
Okay.
yes, top 10
Like top
actresses
10. Okay.
ever. And
Nice.
I mean, my God, that list was just pandemonium. Like just try to keep them all together in one space. Just to, hey, listen, we gotta like do this list, and everything. Just 3 hours. We used to be sitting like 3 hours, 4 hours on a podcast, just doing a list. And it was some of the best times. You wouldn't even know that it was 3 hours, 4 hours long. It was just that much fun. It was that much fun with everyone. Dream guests. I mean the usuals. I mean the usual people like Drake, J. Cole, you know, Ed Sheeran. Uh, yeah, just the usual people that I listen to. The Weekend, which would be kind of weird because I don't think he talks.
He
Like,
talks. I'm sure
I mean,
Abel, Abel.
yeah,
He
I don't. He probably talks, but he just, you know, what I'm saying, just it's gonna be hard to get a conversation out of him. But yeah,
right.
um, but yeah, just the usual people. Yeah, that would be the guy. That'd be the people.
Do you have? I wanted to ask about your cover art for your show. Do you use like AI tools or anything to like create your artwork or your graphics?
Okay, so my which one? Because I got like two different
So
ones.
you have the your profile logo, which is like the cartoon version of like your face, and then the
Hmm.
background is like yellow. It's like black and gold.
Hmm.
That one.
Okay, so the one that's on the actual podcast I use because I couldn't switch it out because damn thing I use doesn't let me switch it out. Um, that was somebody sent that to me, like a dude in the UK way back in like 2019. I didn't have any cover art for the podcast, and I used to shout out to my guy Pat, who was the first person to really just introduce me into the podcast world. He interviewed me, one of his guys that he was working with at the time was like, "Hey, you got no cover art, man? Here, I give you some cover art." And he sent me like a bunch of pictures, and I was like, "For real? Like, you just gonna give me cover art?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's free. Go ahead." I
For
was like,
free now,
"Oh,
that's a flex right there.
yeah, yeah." He just gave me a cover art. He was like, "I believe in you. Here's the cover art." And I was like, "Oh, all right, appreciate it, man. I appreciate it." The logo I have on my Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, that's from my brother Brian Beeline. He is a podcaster as well. He does shows as well. Um, and so he sent me that. He was like, "Hey man, I think here's some cover arts
Mm.
and tell me if you like it." And so I was like, "I appreciate it, man." So and again, I just happened. Like it was just random, and I was just like, because I think I said that once. I was like, I really need a cover art. Like I need somebody
Yeah.
that knows how to do cover art.
Yeah.
And it was a bunch of people that was
Mhm.
like hitting me up, but they was like, it costs da 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 da. I was like, man, I ain't got no money. I can't.
Yeah.
I ain't got no money. I'm not paying for that. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. Our artwork is such an important part of our branding and like putting ourselves
Hmm.
out there. I've done all my cover arts myself since like day one. It's been through its own journey, and now I'm at the little blue logo now,
Yeah.
which I'm thinking of changing. But I'm like, no, let me just keep it. 'Cause
Why?
if I don't just keep it,
Why?
I'm gonna keep changing it. Like, so let me just keep it the way it is right now.
I mean, listen, it's your show. You can do whatever you want to do, but sometimes just having one it stands out fat more because it's like this is the only one like this. So we
Mm,
know when we turn on this episode with this logo, we know who we gonna hear.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Good to know. Good to know. Do you have any advice for others or any upcoming podcasters, people that want to do what we do?
Ooh, that's a question. Um,
Take your time.
the simplest advice is always the easiest advice, right? Like, and that is, if you're gonna do this, be yourself. You can't be everybody else, man. Everybody else ain't true to this as much as you think they are. And you will find that out when you get in this world and you are really in this world. A lot of people aren't true to this like you think they are. And I found that out a very hard way a long time ago. That a lot of these people are not really true to this. They really just do this because it's just there. It's something fun. It's something, to just do. And like I said, when the pandemic ended, so did they podcast. Like most of their
Mm,
podcasts ended. They went
right.
right back to regular life, and that's just how it
Mhm.
is, man.
Mhm.
And also, if you're not really committed to this, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to get on here for a couple weeks, couple months here and there. But like you said earlier, like when you are not in this, it's like you start to feel it. Like you start to feel like, nah, I need to say something. Like this is stupid. Like,
Yeah.
I see something that's very stupid, and I need to say something about it. And posting it on social media don't work all the time because people on social media are just as, stupid. And so you gotta just understand that. So yeah, you got to really be into this. You got to really want to do this. This isn't, if you really truly are committed to doing this, man, it's very easy to do it. I'm not going to sit up here. A lot of people be like, oh, that's hard. It's difficult. No, it ain't. You can always find a topic. You can always find something. Something you can walk outside and be like, ooh, it's cold as shit outside today. And go back in the house and do a
Literally.
podcast on.
Literally.
And you go back in the house and it'd be like, man, yesterday it was 78 degrees. It is 48. What happened? What happened? And you could talk about weather, and people would be like, yeah, it was cold as shit today. What happened? It just happens.
Right.
You don't know who could be listening. You don't know who can be really paying attention. You don't even know who could really truly believe in this. You just got to do it, man. And I think that that's sometimes what we forget. Sometimes is that we just got to do it. Sometimes
That's
it's
right.
not as hard as you think. Just doing it is the easiest goddamn step you can always take in a podcast. Just doing it, because sometimes just doing it will actually open the door up for you realizing like, now this is really my true passion. I could really do this for real, for real. And that's all it takes. Is it don't take 20 people to believe in you. You could just pick a goddamn microphone. I had a bullshit app when I used to first start. When I first started, I had a bullshit app. I was just doing it. I didn't even have a video. Nobody saw my face. It was just like I just did it. And then, a couple of years later, now I'm doing all this. So, you know,
7 years later. And on that note, thank you so much, Brandon, for joining me on Feel Your Feelings. Appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I'll drop all of your links down below. And for you guys watching, don't forget to be a high achiever. You feel me? Bye. It's time for a voice message.
What is something that I've released lately that's helped me take off a lot of clothes in my wardrobe that I had been holding on to for way too long? Things that I would have loved to fit back into, things that I bought that I just probably won't ever wear. And the more you move, and you have to move quickly, the less of these things that you can keep. So I have purged my wardrobe many times in the last 4 years, and now I'm able to take off.
Love that. Thank you so much for your voice message, Rena. It means a lot to me. You were the first person to send me something in, by the way. So kudos to you, girl. Look, I totally understand the process of purging clothes and moving. I've moved most of my life. I went to 8 different schools, 3 different high schools. And yeah, my family moved states. We moved from like Texas to Colorado and then back to Texas. So I know what that feels like, and, kind of putting things in a storage unit and then going thrifting. So I have had to shed clothes and update my wardrobe and really like reinvent myself so many times. And I'm still continuing to do that. I actually have a lot to spring clean that you cannot see in my room, like some storage items that I really need to go through and look at, declutter. And I think spring is the perfect season to really like reflect and deep clean and spring clean and transform yourself before the summer, because I am a summer baby. So, everything is going to be different about me this summer. I can feel that in a good way, I hope. So it's a great thing to purge, and I highly recommend giving clothes to thrift stores as well for people that need those clothes. My family, we shop at thrift stores. I'm not afraid to say that, and those things have helped us to look good and feel good and whatever. So don't be ashamed about, having to go to a thrift store and shop and get your clothes and whatnot. But there's a saying of like when a woman changes her hair, like she changes her whole life. I feel like it's the same way with your clothes. If you update your wardrobe and you you're releasing old baggage, you're releasing like old memories, and you're able to start fresh and not hold on to those things. You're not holding on to those old memories or things that are weighing you down. So thank you so much for your voice message. I actually got this question from Oprah Winfrey when she was on the Stephen Colbert show. That was like, she was a guest on his show, and he asked her to sit at his table and ask him a question. And so what she asked was like, what is one thing that you want to release? And I feel like that is such a freeing question because we are all carrying something that no one else can see, you know, but we can all feel. So I think being able to fly freely is such a great feeling, and we all do need to. Learning how to release is something that I'm still continuing to work on. So to answer my own question, one thing that I am releasing is the fear of being seen by my family or being perceived by my family, specifically my mom and my dad and my sister, but specifically my mom. The last episode that I did transparently, she spoke to me about it and she wasn't too happy and she was kind of trolling me, honestly. She was like, people are going to make fun of you. I wouldn't put myself out there too much, is what she was saying about my last episode, you know, about being 28 and misunderstood. I I was in my feelings about it. I was upset about it, and you'll notice I didn't put an episode out last week. I was traveling, we went out of town, but I was kind of overthinking that as well, and I told her that I wasn't creating my content to please her. I was doing it for myself, and I didn't really care how I came across or how it seemed. I was just trying to be as authentic as possible and like be myself. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And honestly, I had no trolls come after me for that video. My mom was my biggest op on that video. And I know that she is subscribed to my podcast and she listens to me, and she might be upset to hear that, but that is my truth, and I've had to hit block for a few people and a few reasons. And yeah, so this is your sign, you know, if you are on here and you're sharing more of yourself and your personality, to not be afraid to be judged and continue to like step in your light, step in your authenticity. People will notice that. People will get mad at that too as well, but I think that's part of the process. It's part of the growing process as well. And I love my family. I love my mom and my dad and my sister and like all my family who's watching this, but at the same time, like I'm not creating my content for their approval. I'm creating it for the simple reason that I feel free when I do it. I feel excited. I feel passionate about it. When I don't have ish else going on in my life, this is what makes me happy, you know? And DJ Khaled said something so amazing, besides, you know, another one and whatnot. But he said on an interview, and I love watching interviews, so if I reference interviews while I'm talking or while I'm podcasting, it's really because I love watching interviews. But he said on the Ari Melber show to, when times are hard, go hard. And when times are great, go harder. So yeah, outside of this, like my life is still a work in progress. I'm still figuring a lot of things out as a 28-year-old, really trying to find my place in this world, trying to earn a living for myself, trying to fight for my independence, trying to fight for my voice to be heard and do more of the things that I want to do. So in the meantime, I'm going hard on my content. I'm going hard on my podcast. I'm reaching out to people. I'm feeling my feelings. I'm being vulnerable on here. I'm being scared. I'm doing it scared. I'm reaching out. I pitched my show to Jafar Jackson, who's going to be in the upcoming Michael biopic, which I'm so excited to see during opening weekend. And yeah, I'm feeling my feelings along the way, you know, but I'm also taking the steps to make sure that I'm getting the things that I want to. So I'm just encouraging you to do the same thing. You don't have to get on here and tell your whole life story, but you can, if you see someone who is trying, you see them trying, like give their video a like, share, and someone's at the door.